Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRFBets race of the day for Saturday, March the 10th, an important Kentucky Derby prep race. It's the Grade 2 Tampa Bay Derby, race number 11 at Tampa Bay Downs. It's presented by DRFBets. Please sign up for a new DRFBets account, accept a $150 sign-up bonus, and start punching. All you have to do is go to drf.com/join, use the promo code TV150. Let's take a look at this field. Some Kentucky Derby hopefuls entered in the Kentucky Derby prep, the Tampa Bay Derby. You can access free formulator past performances on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Download them and handicap along with us. Mike and I will take this field in post-position order. We'll begin with a 50-1 shot on the line. That's the number 1, a Rozzy-like move, trying 2 turns for the first time and adding blinkers.
Right. I mean, there's obviously a lot working against this horse at 50-1 on the line. If you want to take a shot with somebody stretching out for the first time in this race, I don't think it's a Rozzy-like move.
Number 2 is Tiz Mischief, going out for the red-hot Dale Romans. The 6 Entice, the 7 Free Drop Billy, they were entered in this race just in case the weather didn't pan out and they couldn't get flights out of Gulfstream. It looks like they're going to run in the Gotham. So Tiz Mischief will represent the Romans barn. Of course, Romans pulled off the upset last week over Good Magic in the Fountain of Youth. Tiz Mischief ran just fine in that Keeneland race 3 starts back. I was kind of thinking maybe he was a horse on the rise. Wasn't embarrassed in the Kentucky Jockey Club. Was it just the layoff in the Holy Bowl, or a really sharp horse that beat him?
Yeah, it could be both of those things. I mean, I'm sort of with you. After the Keeneland race, especially the first time they got him around 2 turns, I felt like maybe he was a horse on the rise. And you know what, Dan? Maybe he still is. He came out of that race, as much as I don't really love the Kentucky Jockey Club as a race overall, I thought he ran fine in that race. He just missed at the end to Enticed. He came back in the Holy Bull last time. I'm willing to give him that one. He just got sort of dusted through this stretch by the 1-2 finishes, but they both really ran. Maybe he just needed that race. Now he has it out of the way. He lands in a race here. First of all, I don't think the field's that strong. And second of all, there's a lot of pace in this race. It's going to set up very well for this horse, and I'm going to give him one more chance to redeem himself.
And in that Kentucky Jockey Club, he finished ahead of Promises Fulfilled, who did pull off the upset for Romans in the Fountain of Youth. A lot of folks are going to think that Vino Rosso is the most likely winner of this race for Todd Pletcher. He's really done nothing wrong from 3 starts. In the Sam F. Davis, I think he was really uncomfortable in between horses on the backstretch and into the turn. The pace wasn't fast, and when the pace setters quickened, I think it was a jolt to Vino Rosso's system. Johnny V had to get all over him, and then he started running again in the stretch. He galloped out really well. He looked like a horse that needs blinkers, and here they are.
Yeah, he does have blinkers on in here. I guess if you like him in this race at what is going to be a really short price, then you almost have to look at him the way that you just sort of laid it out. He didn't want to be in between horses. He had to be hard ridden. They sort of outpaced him a little bit, and then he was running again at the end. He galloped out past those horses, past the wire. It was a nice step in the right direction for him. Personally, when I watched it live, I didn't think he ran that well, and I felt the fact that he got so close at the end of that race was maybe an indictment on the race overall. The more distance I get from the Sam Davis, I think he did run a little bit better in that race. He's the horse to beat in here. I don't know how short I would want to go on him.
The 4 is Grandpa Knows Best, going out for Kenny McPeak, Julian Leparoux, 30-1 on the line. This horse ended 2017 with 2 consecutive victories. Nice to see him handle the 2 turns. Nice to see him rate successfully from off of the pace last time out at Churchill Downs. Not really the greatest race overall. The 7th place horse came back to Byron 80, but that horse got beaten a 1X at Gulfstream. It'll be interesting to see what we get at a Grandpa Knows Best maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe. It's a really tough spot for them to start back in, especially for a horse like him who not only is off the layoff here making his 3-year-old debut, but he's got to really improve to go with these horses.
Flame Away the 5, I don't think gets the press he deserves. All he's done is win 5 of 7. He's won on turf, he's won on synth, he's won on dirt, he's won at 4.5, and he's won at a mile and a 16th. He's won from on the lead, and he's won from off the pace. He got a great ride by Jose Lezcano last time out. They were catching Catholic Boy off of the layoff in a race without pace. Lezcano was able to get to the front. Flame Away, very, very game to turn back Catholic Boy in the stretch. Don't think he's making the lead this time around, but the great news is you don't need it.
Yeah, he doesn't really need the lead. You're right. He's not making the front this time. The pace is going to be a lot faster, so we'll see how he deals with that. But you're right. He doesn't really need the front to run his best race. He's just one of those 3-year-olds improving at the right time. He took a nice step forward in the Sam Davis Davis, and he's just such a gamer, man. If he gets near you in the stretch, he really wants to beat you. Still, it's going to be a lot tougher for him this time, I think.
We mentioned the pace, and that Flameaway likely not to get it. Let's see what Timeform US has to say. That red bar indicates that they agree with Mike's assessment that this pace will be fast. They do have Flameaway up close, but not exactly on the lead. The 6 Entice, the 7 Free Drop Billy, expected to scratch to run in the Gotham. That leaves us with the expected pace setter, the number 8 World of Trouble. The 8 and the 9 are the 2 X factors in this race, to be sure. Both talented horses, both trying new things, and both very, very questionable if they could do those new things. World of Trouble has run well in all 3 lifetime starts. He got a big fig last time out in the Pasco. He did get an easy lead at a shorter distance over a weak field. It's going to be tougher here. I think there's some ability, though.
I do, too. I think he's a talented horse. Just one of those talented horses with a lot of questions to answer in a race like this. We'll see how he handles it. That Pasco form's not really working out for the horses that were behind him in there, but still, I really don't know how much I think that diminishes his performance in there. He absolutely crushed that field with a big figure, and he is going right to the lead in here. You know, I have a tough time talking myself into horses like him, but I will say this. When I do want to bet horses like him, I want to do it the first time they're stretching out, and this is the first time he's stretching out. He just feels super dangerous to me right on the front end against this field.
Only time he lost was his final start as a 2-year-old. He bounced right off the rail in mid-stretch that kind of knocked his momentum away from him. I wish he had a little bit more route pedigree,
I do
but
too.
He's probably going to be on the lead. Maybe they won't go that fast. As for Untamed Domain, this is an extremely talented horse who was second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, a graded stakes winner on the turf, but he's never raced on dirt. Graham Motion showing a lot of confidence in this horse. I wish World of Trouble had more route pedigree. I wish Untamed Domain had more dirt pedigree. I know Animal Kingdom won the Derby. This dam was a turf horse. All she's thrown is turf horses so far.
Yeah, she was a turf horse. All she's thrown are turf horses, you know, as far as Animal Kingdom goes, and I've seen some Animal Kingdoms that I like. I like them all on grass. We'll see if this horse can handle the dirt. If he can, he's a contender in here. It helps him that World of Trouble is in this race because he's probably going to go a fast pace in this race, and that will help this horse just as far as his running style because he's going to make one run from out of it. He's not my kind of horse. I don't like playing horses like him and expecting him to not only be as good on dirty as he is on turf, but probably better because he's going to have to be better. He's just not for me, especially because it feels like he can't be a great price in here. We'll see if he can handle the dirt. If he can't handle dirt, he's a very interesting horse going forward.
Sort of like when Catholic Boy ran in the Remsen first time on the turf. Maybe first time's the time to get these kind of horses, and he should get a little bit of a better setup than he did in the Dania Beach, where they kind of ran 2-1 all the way around the track. Before we complete the field with a couple of long shots, let's throw up some formulator facts. Here's Jason Service, World of Trouble, past 3 years. Last out 3-year-old winners on dirt off of a little bit of a layoff, a 45-day layoff or greater, 42% for the usually high percentage Service, almost a $3 ROI. And then we've got Dale Romans with the 2 Tis Mischief, going second off the layoff in graded stakes with 3-year-olds. It's done well going long, 33% and a 766 ROI. The 10 Quip, no match for Tis Mischief in the Kentucky Jockey Club last time out. His final start as a 2-year-old, but he had a tough outside post. He never could get to the lead. And I wonder how aggressive Florent Giroux is going to be with this horse. I'm not sure he's going to be able to win first off the layup, but he might make life miserable for World of Trouble.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, you know, and the other thing is, even though he's stuck on the outside, he actually might fall into a pretty good trip in this race because if World of Trouble just comes out of there looking for the lead and he's just too fast for his own good, this horse is going to fall into a really good trip in this race. I'll give him a pass for the last one. I actually liked his Keeneland race the first time they stretched him out. He did get a relatively easy lead in that race. The horse that was heading for the front in that race sort of bolted on the backstretch, and it sort of left him all alone in charge of that pace. But he was really green in that race, switching his leads back and forth through the stretch, but he kept running all the way. I think there's a chance this horse turns out to be pretty good down the line.
Caloric completes the field. This horse has been a pace presser in 2 one-turn races, have won both of them at Gulfstream Park, but both times in for a tag, and this is just a shot in the dark, you would think.
Yeah, I like him less than the other 50-to-1 shot on the line.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 2 Tampa Bay Derby. Vino Rosso's probably going to give a good account of himself. He's 4-to-1 on the line. Take the line with a grain of salt. It was made with Enticed and Free Drop Billy in the race. Vino Rosso, I think, will either be the favorite or the second choice. I think he'll be the favorite. I'd use him in multiples. I don't want him as the favorite. You like Tis Mischief. He's 8-to-1 in the line. Will be a good price.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you just said, actually. Vino Rosso, I think he will be the favorite in here. And I'm not, like, you know, way against him in this race, but I don't know how much I love him as the favorite in here. Tis Mischief, one more chance for me to step forward because I really did like what he did as a 2-year-old.
I'm hoping World of Trouble's talent, it's apparent he has talent, will take him the mile and a 16th. The key to this race is how How much pressure will Quip and Flameaway put on him early? It's a big ask for World of Trouble. I would need at least 6 or 7 to 1, and I'm not sure I'm going to get it off of that big buyer last time out. I'm hoping they go overboard on Vino Rosso in here. I'll go 8, 3, 5, and 2 in the Grade 2 Tampa Bay Derby. Mike's going 2, 3, 8, and 9. Again, if you're playing the race of the day from home, please consider DRFBets. Go to drf.com/join, type in the promo code TV150, access the $150 sign-up bonus. It is easy. Approximate post time for the Grade 2 Tampa Bay Derby, 5:20 Eastern on Saturday. Good luck.